Welcome back to the Fundraising Beyond Borders podcast. Today, we are doing something a little differently. We are bringing on a past presentation from the International Fundraising Summit. So, if you weren't there, we just hosted a 2-day online summit where over 300 attendees from all around the world gathered to learn all about how to find international donors. And then the second day was all about how to retain international donors. There was one speaker in particular that when the audience, the attendees heard, they were just buzzing after his presentation. And so I thought to bring his presentation here to the podcast because he just really got us inspired to really hone in as nonprofit leaders around our why and also how to mobilize supporters internationally. Simon has done a fantastic job of getting advocates behind his cause. His cause is based in Uganda. And so he shares a lot about how so many supporters from all around the world have become advocates and how he's established those relationships over the last couple years. Simon and I were able to meet several years ago, and I to date have been such a big fan of his, and we've kept in touch. So I wanted to bring him onto the podcast. I know you're going to love his presentation as much as I did and the 300 other attendees. We will link the International Fundraising Summit replay in the show notes if you are curious to tune in to 9 other speakers there. So we'll drop that in the show notes if you want to find out more information. But without a further ado, we will have Simon on the podcast. We had a little bit of a technical glitch, but we are back. And Simon and I were just talking about being resilient, and technology issues happen all the time, and different things happen, but you persevere through them. So we are back recording. And Simon, as we kind of wrap up this conversation, one last question I wanted to ask you is, as a nonprofit leader who is constantly learning and constantly growing, what questions do you find yourself asking other global nonprofit leaders? So, when you're talking to them in Instagram or LinkedIn or email, wherever you're connecting with them, what type of questions are you actually asking? So yes, you're telling them their story, but you're also very good at asking really good questions. So yeah, what kind of questions do you find yourself asking other people?
Wow, thank you very much, Morgan, once again for this question. And as it is well known, as ministry leaders, organization leaders, or in the world of philanthropy, we cannot know everything, but life is all about learning, relearning, and learning. Every day, we keep on, getting to meet people that approach life in a different angle, like the way we started it, as in this space that we are in, people in the animal space, people that like the humanitarian work and the different missions that we are running. So it's all about me meeting someone and getting to learn more from him. And it is what has really made my life to be where I am today. And some of those resonating questions I've already talked about. One, like when we connect with someone and we've been able to hold a conversation, the person has seen the story resonated a lot, and I've been able to hear from that person. And as we keep on discussing, when we have been able to build that, when we've been able to ground that conversation, there are things that always come to help us connect, like, whom do you know that I should know in this space? Because it is in that way that I'll be able to learn from that person. And once I get to learn, if people in that way, when you ask such questions, they can easily open, whoa, I know someone who in this place, Simon, I know someone in this place. So when I get to connect with that person, and again, I keep on asking and grounding that person, whom do you know that I should know? It really helps a lot us as ministry leaders to grow. And then it's still the other question that I've been able to find, working better in this life as we keep on learning, right? If you were me, what would you do better, to keep on growing this mission? Because when we have been able to connect with the people, we've been able to build those meaningful relationships, and people are really believers in what we are doing. Like, now that you know what I do, what do you think is that I can do to keep on growing? Because the way I told the world that we are in is a no-brainer. Paradigm shifts are taking place every day. And when it comes to the work of mission kind of building, there are people that view things in an angle. And of recent, I met someone that I go to ask that question. Just told me, it's like, Simon, you're doing an incredible work, but when it comes to your website, you're not like feeding your
Mm.
website very well about what is happening. As like, oh, I just took note of that, and right now I'm figuring out ways. How can when as make good use of the social platforms, I want also to be, feeding the website and keep on doing that, because those are the things that we always keep on driving, traffic to our amazing kind of work. And again, when it comes again to this, the sector that we are in, it is work. It takes hard work. It takes, building better systems takes time. It takes, you may be there and like, hey, how come things are not breaking? Please keep going, because your mission resonates. And as you keep on asking people those questions, people are going to become more passionate about your work. People are going to get to know about you. People are going to connect people to you. And as you keep on, working alongside people, your people will come. And those that will be able to come after seeing that your work is making a difference, there are people that are really thrilled. There are people that feel good about making a difference. So as you keep on asking those questions, they'll come alongside you, and they'll become more passionate about making a difference together with you, and what the work will keep on growing.
And that's what I love about, you, Simon, in establishing these relationships, is that it's always open to what type of relationship it's going to be, whether it's a donor, whether it's becoming a volunteer, whether it's sharing their time, whether it's they're sharing your mission on social media. It's just, there's so many different types of support. A support doesn't have to look like a financial contribution, but it can be volunteering their time, or helping you set up a new website, or giving you advice on, whatever it might be. So it's always, like, thinking about establishing these relationships can lead to a variety of different relationships and support for your organization.
Sure. And then the other thing, Morgan, the world that we are living in today has totally changed, because you cannot just think about, it cannot be just a donor-based relationship,
Yeah.
For people to come alongside us, they want to come in different ways. Don't just limit someone. Please come, please give them a wider space and let them choose. They're those that want to come and they want to be volunteers. They're those that want to come and they are serious believers. Like, to me, a believer is even more than a donor, because a donor will only give and then will keep quiet, but a believer will go on and spread the information and spread the news, will preach about your mission. So that's what is really resonating, especially in the world that we are in. And still, I would just love to say this lastly to someone who is outside there, and you're thinking about starting a non-profit, you're thinking about building a better mission, you're thinking about, like, you want to grow, you're resilient about growing that baby kind of vision, a bigger non-profit. Please go through those nitty-gritties, and I tell you, a week, a month, a quarter, by the time you get to get in the middle of the year, and then when you're about to finish the year, when you look at those, you'll have a lot of things that you would have registered, and that's what it means for you to grow. And this is again where I say big thank you to Fundraising Beyond the Borders for bringing us together in this kind of space. So I'm so thrilled with Joy for this, and this is the way to go.
Oh, Simon, thank you so much for being here and sharing all your wisdom and knowledge. And taking to heart what you just said, a believer can go so much further than just a donor, right? So being really mindful about taking a believer and bringing them into your community and offering them different opportunities to serve with your nonprofit. And at the end of the day, too, Simon has just done an incredible job of perseverance. Like you're saying, a week turns into a month, into a quarter, into a year. And it's incredible what can be established with perseverance and grit and integrity. And we're going back to what you've first said, is just knowing your why. So I'm going to challenge everybody, today, to leave with that parting thought of, like, what is your why? And really bringing and honing in on who are your believers in your nonprofit, and great things can happen. So Simon, thank you so much for being here. It's been a true joy.
Well, I'm so excited, Morgan. Thanks for hosting me today, and we are looking forward to seeing more good explored out of this. And just say bravo to every ministry leader, every organization leader. Let's keep on working. Let's keep on pushing. It may not be easy, but let's keep on going as we labor to make the world a better place. And again, if we don't do it, who is going to do it? We are the ones in this space, helping out communities and making things work out. And the Lord is with us. It will be well. It will be well.
Great. Thanks so much, Simon.
You're welcome.